Okay, kids, it's beer 30. I'm going to start underneath the truck, and I don't know if you can see the rust that's on these fuel lines. General Motors peanut brittle, as I call it. I don't know who would build a truck or what engineer. The NTSB, their engineers, okay, and the DOTs would allow a vehicle manufacturer to make something out of such bullshit. We're going to cover one of the stainless steel line installations. And here are some of the tools you're going to need, like Mr. Whizzer. Because you're not going to get a lot of this shit apart with these Mickey Mouse tools. These are feel-good tools they sell you in the auto parts store. Most of them, they're made out of just as much peanut brittle as the junk is you're tearing apart. We actually had to use the BFH. I call him Mr. BFH. He's been with me a lot of years. He has done a lot of construction work, almost 40 years worth. That hammer's going to stay with me. It's a keepsake. It was in one of my original vans. And we used this, and there's a smaller one hanging around here. We basically beat those lines off because trying to compress those fingers that are in there, it was basically futile. It was a futile battle. There's the other one. We really didn't use him, not at all. So you need your 1/4-inch drive set to drop the tank. The tank does have to come down because you got to get those hoses disconnected and everything. We just have the gas cap laying in there. There's the tank is way down in there, the filler neck and all that. What a bastard. And we have yet to get this other great feat of GM engineering, is that retarded bracket way down in there that holds the fuel lines to the bell housing. This was a pisser. This took all day. So when they tell you it's 2 hours or 1 to 2 hours, or you take your truck to a shop to have this done, guaranteed, when you get a $500, $600, $700 bill, because the guy pulled his hair out all day long like I did and just about shredded his hair. Don't even look at my hair today, because I was actually underneath the truck, and I got gas. I have one live line too. I just wanted to warn you, that's what the pan was about. The one line stayed live. It was bled, fuel relays out. That's what, well, the box ain't open, but the battery cable's even off and everything, and the relay, and it didn't help. I got one line, it still wants to keep feeding fuel, but when this let loose, I had just about put a little bit more than a half of a tank. And the other thing I wanted to mention, gas. How this truck is, this 2-wheel drive, somebody put a performance chip in it. They put a performance engine and a performance transmission, and they made mishmash out of the truck. Now, son of a gun, I wouldn't have got rid of the truck, and it has literal no rust except that cross member there on the at the rear of the gas tank. We're going to have that replaced down the valley here. It's nothing I'm going to do here at my place. I don't even think they have to take the bed off. I would just drop the tank, and they could probably weld that kit in, because they do make a kit now. LMC has it, and I think maybe Raybucks has it. But as far as doing this line kit yourself, be prepared. Your truck's going to be down a couple days till you get it. It took me all day just to get it apart, and I still do not have those the steel lines out of the nylon, whatever you want to call them, the plastic lines or whatever. So it is what it is. It is a bastard. But be prepared that these fittings with the fingers in them, those critters are not going to come off easy. They just don't give up. They got to keep getting beaten. And then Kitty's going to be expecting food soon. He shows up. It's been a hell of a day. I had to ignore everything, and my phone's ringing off the hook with these scam callers from the Philippines. I think all of the Philippines and India, Babu and all them, everybody has my private phone number. I don't know how they have it. The shop phone, I can't even use my phone with these scam callers calling. And there's Dr. Evil. He was out today. Speaking of motorized bicycles, what my channel's about. He is a utilitarian piece of work of art, and he's alive and he's still well, and he still serves me. We just went down to Seth because we borrowed those other Mickey Mouse fuel line tools to separate the fuel lines that didn't do shit anyway. And then we're going to try to get the plastic lines apart with that critter. So if you want to fix your Silverado or you want to fix your motorized bicycle, you better buy some tools. and you better be ready for some defeats, because I feel defeated. I'm a champion. I worked on stock cars, but this new stuff, it's nothing like a stock car. It's nothing like the older trucks. They're just the engineering. Some of it was asinine. Like I said, whoever put that bracket up there in that bell housing area, they ought to have a big kick in the dupa. I'd like to send them right across that field up there. So that is the video of the week. My frustration. I just cannot tell you, and I cannot focus on that rust and how you would even get something like that apart. There was no future thought put into these vehicles. GM wants to sell me a new truck. You know what, GM? F you. I'll have my middle finger up like Trump just gave them retards over there in Washington. There it is. Another piece of engineering. It doesn't rust together. I wouldn't leave it out in the rain. He has not been out in the rain, just like my motorcycle's been sleeping in there because it's rained all summer. It's worthless taking a bike out to ride it 1 month out of the year, paying all that insurance, especially when it's a custom bike and all that. So guys, good night, sleep tight, and when you want to do one of those line kits, be prepared to have that sign on your shop door. It's going to be there all day, just like it was all day today. You're going to be out for parts. Actually, it was just going out for tools and stuff up the road here to Seth. And we're doing some shop cleaning. That's what that's all about, is cleanliness is next to godliness. And then we have the center bearing. We got to drop that drive shaft, coat the drive shaft. Little Princess has eaten more of my time and money than I care to tell people about. And I did not get the Herman Munster. That was because after doing chores and stuff, I took the truck for a ride, and it came home pouring gas out everywhere, and I had to do something. So with all good intentions, we'll get things done. Still do. There's a lot of summer left. But that thing, that's a kick in the dick when you go to do one of those. Don't let those con artists sell you one of those line kits. You might as well just take it to a professional shop. I wouldn't even say take one here. I wouldn't do one for somebody. I tell them to take it somewhere else, because it's a bastard. So that's my video, and sorry for all the cursing and cussing, and I thank my sponsors when I do it, because I have some now. And you guys, you know what I'm all about. I'm all about motorsports. I'm all about doing it right. But there's some occasions when everything just goes wrong, and today was one of them.